All right, this is Module 4, and we're discussing online learning, some of the revolutions of it, or the revolution of online learning. And online learning is really becoming ubiquitous. A lot of institutions of higher education are providing online learning, and blended learning is becoming a significant part of K through 12 education. So there's a lot of distance learning, online learning taking place in our educational system. Some of the things that are important with that is being able to monitor student performance and also assess student performance. And along with assessment, there's a couple of studies that I'd like to share with you, one by Chen, Bastido, and Howard. And in this study, they offered students an opportunity to answer some open-ended questions, and some of the things that the students came back with were they wanted to see more short-term tests, more quizzes, so that they could get more timely feedback, personalized feedback that would help them to prepare for future course assignments and also final exams, and so that they wanted to have that kind of practice with timely, critical feedback. In another study by Jennifer Locke and Carol Johnson, from a constructivist learning theory, the interaction of self-assessment, peer assessment, and instructor assessment was considered a triangulation of assessing students. And this kind of assessment could take place throughout the course, from beginning to end in a formative assessment, and also at the end in summative assessment for the course for the students. And the theory is that the peer, the student, and the instructor are all stakeholders in the carrying out of the assessments for the course. And working together, the three critical parties would be able to provide the necessary level of assessment for the course. And also a part of this theory and a part of the assessment plan was it was important that collaborative learning continue to take place, because it enhances learning when students are able to learn from one another. A study by Joanne Murray and Sharon Boyd in the UK utilized an online assessment tool for peer assessment. And the way that this was designed was the instructor provided 50% of the grade for a finished collaborative project that the students completed, and the peers, utilizing the online assessment tool, assessed their peers in terms of how much they contributed to the project, what they were, how engaged they were, and how much participation. And so they used a Likert scale for that. And the online assessment tool formulated and calculated the instructor's input and the peer assessment to produce a grade for the students. So the project got a grade, and the individual students also got a grade, and these were combined in the assessment tool. So that's an interesting way to provide assessment for students in an online learning environment. In another study by Rode, Richter, and Miller, an interesting way to approach the assessment was to conduct a pre-assessment prior to the beginning of the course to gauge where students were in terms of their proficiency with online learning and digital technology, so that their course and their development could be personalized. And so not specifically related to online learning, but more for professional development. But it's an interesting research that could be adopted for some online and distance learning courses, so that the assessment, the final assessment, could be related to the personalized program that a student helped produce through their self-assessment, inputting how experienced they were with the online and digital technology, which is really important if you are dividing students up for a collaborative project and you have a group of 4 who are very experienced and have possibly even instructed online, and you might have 4 who are novice, and we wouldn't know that without some pre-course self-assessment. Most online courses that are offered are a one-size-fits-all, so it's difficult to gauge where students are with their proficiency with digital technology for online purposes. So in my experience and the things that I've learned about the online and the assessment, it's important that the course material has plays a critical factor, or plays a primary role in how much interaction and collaboration needs to take place. And that's going to also factor into how students are assessed. So it's important that in the assessment design that those things are taken into consideration.